Previously in Messiah Complex, Madrox and Layla finally reach Forge, who helps them teleport to the future. But the cost is too high since the machine only works one way without any ability to return, which causes Layla Miller to get trapped in this new reality. At the same time, Richter makes contact with a subdivision of the Purifiers who worked under Stryker, revealing the amount of fighting power this group has planned to take on mutants. Now in the Canadian Rockies, a young unknown mutant finds himself camping when he suddenly hears a sound nearby. But before he can reach it, Predator X jumps from the shadows, killing him instantly as a way to feed on his mutant DNA. Meanwhile, at the Xavier Institute, Surge and Prodigy are discussing the recent order from Cyclops to stand back and wait when Hellion appears. "Hey, I can come back later if you two need some time." "We don't need any time," replies David. Surge points at them to shut up and gets closer to the monitors. "That's why Cyclops told us to stay out of it. The Purifiers were involved in Alaska. They may have the baby." Prodigy tries to calm her down. "If Cyclops didn't tell us, he had a good reason. Don't do anything stupid." "Don't do anything stupid," replies Surge. "Are you kidding me, David? You were there, you know what they did." In seconds, Hellion turns, looking at the door when a voice interrupts them. "David is right, Nori. It's Professor X, who was passing by when he overheard the conversation. Cyclops is right as well, to a point. He kept that information from you to protect you, but there are more ways to solve problems than charging headfirst into violence." He walks toward them slowly, adding, "I know a thing or two about training mutants. I'd like to talk to the three of you about taking a different approach." Suddenly, Surge explodes with rage. "Shut up! Just shut up!" David tries to calm things down, but Nori is furious. "Where was he when we were getting killed?" She then gets closer to Xavier with pain in her eyes as she screams at him. "Well, where were you when we were getting blown up in buses or shot in the head or getting our hearts ripped out? Where were you when those Purifier bastards came to kill what was left of us in your freaking mansion?" Surge turns around and walks out with her face down, adding, "There's nothing you can teach us, Professor. We already know how to die." The room stood silent for a second when David scratches his neck. "It's been a rough year, Professor." At the same time in Texas, Forge talks with Scot regarding the Madrox situation. "There's been no change. The Prime Madrox is still in a coma, but his brain function is off the map. If you can spare Emma, she might be able to find out." Scot replies that Emma is unavailable, which adds more frustration to the situation. "Fine, I'll continue to monitor each timeline for any anomalies, but there's no way to know what's happening in either future." Forge then lowers his voice. "Scot, this is uncharted territory. If Madrox never wakes up," but Scot replies coldly, "We have to know what's happening here, Forge. It's worth the risk we're taking." Forge expresses disbelief. "Listen to yourself, Scot. You'd knowingly sacrificed Jamie's life, and Layla, she's only a kid. Our species is dying, Forge. We're on the verge of extinction. So whatever's happening here, if we don't find a way to control it, all of our lives end here." Back in the Institute, Surge has called for a meeting between the new generation. "I'm going after them," mentions Nori with determination. "I thought Cyclops and I had an understanding after everything we've been through, after everything we've done. The X-Men want to go after the Marauders? Fine, but the Purifiers, that's personal. They killed 45 of our friends." Everyone in the room just sits quietly while she continues. "They didn't kill X-Men or freaking X-Factor. They killed students, they killed our friends, and we're the ones who took them down, not the X-Men. So I don't care what Cyclops says. I'm going after them. If they've got this baby, they're going to kill it, and if they don't have it, I'm still taking them out permanently. So who's in?" Hellion and Mercury agree immediately, but Dust isn't sure about Surge's real motivations. Anole agrees to go if it means saving the baby mutant. "We should talk to the Cuckoos, see if they've picked up any information from the X-Men, maybe a location." Surge then looks at Josh, asking him what's his position, but his face darkens as he looks at them. "These people killed Laurie. If I go with you, I'll kill every single one of them, and I don't want to do that. So no, I'm not going. But if you need healing, you know where to find me." Suddenly X-23 appears. Looks like she overheard the conversation. "Do you have room for one more?" she asks. Now, over the cold sky of Antarctica, the X-Men find themselves waiting for Kurt's report, but he is taking too long. "Something's gone wrong," adds Angel. Wolverine frowns. "Relax, Elf knows what he's doing." In seconds, Nightcrawler teleports back, covered in snow. He looks at the rest of the team, serious. They're here. At this same time, the Purifiers have arrived at their HQ in Washington, D.C., where Taylor is introduced introducing Richter to the members without knowing he is a spy. Father Matthew summoned the shepherds of the East to the cathedral in Washington. Soon all of our brothers from Eastern churches will be among us. We must be prepared for their arrival. How many churches are we talking about here? Asks Richter. Hundreds, but that's just in the East. This is happening all across the world, brother. All my life, I'd prayed that one day I'd find people just like me. I just never guessed there'd be so many, guns. As they get close to a door, Taylor looks back at Richter, asking him to wait outside, but his interest in finding more is too high. He pushes the door a bit forward, and there he sees what looks like a reverend giving a sermon. Finally, the words that Richter was waiting for are spilled. Mission accomplished, he says to himself, smiling. But it lasts seconds when a voice cuts in. Meet your new allies. Richter's face just drops out of fear. Oh, sweet Lord, no. Now, 8 years in the future, New York. Madrox's duplicate and Layla find themselves walking around the city. Spending 5 days traveling from Texas to New York with you wasn't part of the plan, adds Madrox. Forge built a time machine, not a time and space machine, and I'm a great travel companion. I found us snacks. Can we just go? Bad enough you stowed away, but the future, it blows. No mutants or even anyone talking about mutants, replies Madrox. Layla lowers her head, which is pretty horrible if you're a mutant. Where are we even going? Some help you are. You don't seem to know anything in the future. Layla points to what looks like a public library. Luckily, I've kept my amazing common sense powers. As they get in through the rubble, Madrox looks at her confused. Library? I thought you just knew stuff. What are we going to do next? Check the internet? No. You get way too distracted on the internet. Whatever happened here, there have been no mentions of it on TV or newspapers, and no one is talking about it. It must have been horrible. As Layla looks through books, she stumbles across one. No one ever goes to libraries, and they know all the good stuff, like where they put all the mutants. As they follow the instructions of a specific place, they find themselves in a relocation camp in Brooklyn, where all the mutants are kept. Back in Washington, D.C., the teenager mutants successfully infiltrate the church. I can smell guns. I can smell the anti-telepathy implants. They are here. Finally, adds Rockslide. This is like the 8th church we've checked. No kidding. That Sentinel pilot narrowing it down to D.C. wasn't that helpful, replies Hellion. Anole, once we get in, I want you to find out what you can about the baby. We'll run interference, commands Surge. Laura, what do you see? 7 purifiers on the outside perimeter, all armed with anti-mutant weaponry. 2 guards on the upper level, no weapons. The side entrance is the one we want. It's the most heavily guarded. As the mutants sneak into the enemy base, their friends back home can't stop thinking about their decisions. I should have gone. What if they need me and I am not there for them? I have made a terrible mistake. You did what your conscience told you, Soraya, replies David. What does your conscience tell you? She asks, looking back at him. To find Cyclops, to tell him what's happening, but I can't. If anything happens to them, Elixir frowns. Serious. She'll take care of them, David. She's gotten us through so much. She'll get them through this. It's Nori. She's not going to let things get out of hand. Now in Antarctica, Mr. Sinister tries to form a plan, but some of the members disagree. What? We're running? Shouts one mutant. Cyclops is no fool, replies Sinister. He knows what's at stake here. He will be coming, and direct conflict with the X-Men on their terms will not further our goals. So we will confront them on my terms. Suddenly Scalp Hunter looks around. Wait, where's Harpoon? In seconds, Kodiak is sent flying through a wall. All the Marauders are caught by surprise. The X-Men appear, ready for a confrontation. Wolverine looks at them serious and growls. We're here for Rogue and the baby. Only question is, how many of you have to die before we get them? Back in Washington, the young mutants have made some progress taking down some purifiers as they go deep into their headquarters. Anole camouflages himself with the environment while the guards are looking for them. He then finds what looks like a security post and gets into one of the computers, looking for any information regarding the mutant baby, but he is caught by surprise by one of the purifiers. What are you doing here? Shouts the guard. In one single motion, he grabs the purifier's arms and throws him around, but before he can make his next move, they meet each other's faces. Richter looks at him, worried. You have to get out of here. What are you talking about? The baby, it's not here, but we can still shut down the purifiers, replies Anole. Richter stands on his feet, but his expression hardens. We? Oh God, the new X-Men. You don't get it, kid. We've got a much bigger problem than the purifiers. As Richter says those words, the new X-Men find themselves fighting a group of purifiers in another room, which has already alerted everyone. Hellion is trying to calm Surge down. She is killing purifiers left and right. Surge, ease up. Back off, Hellion. No, don't do this. You don't want to be like... But before the next words come out of Hellion's mouth, a purifier fires directly at them. Surge jumps, taking Hellion out of the line of fire. Hellion then stands up and punches the shooter straight in the face, sending him crashing into a wall. You were at the mansion. The purifier looks back at him, hate in his words. Yes, I've been there many times, Mr. Keller. On my first visit, I sent that busload of your friends to hell, and on the next, I put a bullet in Ms. Collins's head. And today, we will send the rest of you back to Satan. Before Hellion can react to those words, he is impaled by claws through his chest. The new X-Men freeze at the scene, and as they look at the enemy, now revealed, she murmurs coldly, "Come to me, children. Come to Deathstrike."